How about you? Allison? Allie? I'm Alice to my friends, which is what I hope we'll be after we stop sparring like newly met children in a schoolyard. He took that the right way. He is capable of laughter. I'm Tim to my friends. You'll like Vancouver when it stops raining. Do you have kids? I'm afraid not. You're working at it. Very quick to pick up nuances. His reputation in that regard was well demonstrated here. What does he do? Your husband. Richard is a partner in a media consulting firm, Spencer, Lang and Associates. They do some polling, public relations. But let me ask, why me? I know Dr. Mendel gave you my name, but what kind of therapist were you looking for? She said you did dreams. Mine are trying to tell me something. She also said you were smart and attractive. Attractive? I'm just repeating. Does that make me sexist? Probably. He laughed once more, genuinely. In his favor, he doesn't seem one to put on a false face. I've been in the business only 4 years. That's good. Fresh approach. I've been seeking someone who doesn't know me, someone new in town, not set in her ways. Or maybe someone who doesn't feel offended by your published critiques of what you call the psychiatry industry. That was unprofessional of me, but I had allowed him to get under my skin. I'm impressed. You've done some homework. You a strong feminist? Tim, might I be allowed to ask some of the questions? We only have an hour today. I was just wondering about your Freudianness. Don't get me wrong. I don't support the industry that specializes in debunking him. He remains the master. But those Viennese women were victims of an age when gender oppression was the norm. He failed to factor that in. Sorry, I suppose I'm procrastinating. His cross-examination of me and his brief rambles seemed an indicator not merely of discomfort, but of a slightly manic state. He finally took to the couch, though I continued to sense resistance as he kept his arms folded. I've always thought this configuration too distancing. I prefer to see my patients. You read as much by watching as listening, even if it's only the play of silence on a face. I grant that your methodology is more orthodox. The mere presence of the therapist distracts the patient from the free flow of imagery. You through? Sorry. After he finally allowed me to take some of his history, another tussle followed when I attempted to explore the nature of his current concerns. Jesus, this is hard. Okay, crisis number 1. My partner for life, or so I assumed, broke up with me 10 days ago. I'm having a hell of a problem coping. What's number 2? A psychopathic killer is stalking me. Well, that's a big item. Yeah, and another secretary quit on me, and my office is chaos, and I've been threatened with being purged from the medical ranks. But the biggest item is getting kicked out of Sally's life, like a bad habit. Okay, sure, but sometimes dramatic but less relevant material clogs the circuits. I'd like to assess the seriousness of this stalking threat. I sense incredulity. Not at all. Tell me about it. Okay, well, this goes back to the murder of Dr. Barbara Lowes Wiseman. You remember that? 6 years ago? Maybe you were still at McGill. Yes, but remind me. Okay. Barbara was a brilliant therapist, a friend, more than that, a spiritual guide during my internship. Feminist, lesbian. She specialized in anger management. Robert Grundison II, a kid who's hog-rich, stabbed her to death because he decided she was Satan incarnate. I remember the news stories. He was hallucinating. So he claimed.